Hello, brothers and sisters again. I want to welcome you to this other lesson. Remember, in the last lesson, we talked about the manual skills, and I did mention that in the next two lessons, of course, this being one of them, we'll discuss in details what entails in receptive and expressive skills. So our first of all, of course, we'll discuss about receptive skills. So receptive skills, we say that these are skills used to read and understand information given in sign language. Remember, receptive, just from the word receive or perceive. So it's required of you that when it comes to this type of skill, that a sign language teller or interpreter should be able to use his or her eyes to perceive information assigned by another person. So, meaning to say that when it comes to receptive skills, it requires a lot of concentration and participation. So we have to follow so closely the person signing so that we are able to get the correct information and be able to tell or retell the story when it comes to sharing the information. Remember also that receptive skills, of course, involves the ability or the attention to sign and interpret its meaning. So when you attain this information, as I've said, when you perceive this information, when you are able to comprehend the information someone else signing, you are able to participate in the interpretation process. So in layman's language, what I'm saying is that receptive skills are the skills that a sign language teller should have the ability to read, to watch what someone else is interpreting, be it an interpreter or a deaf person, and be able to get the information or extract information from the signs, digest and understand. That one say, when we achieve that, of course, we say you are good at receptive skills. So receptive skills, as I've mentioned, requires your concentration, total concentration, because of course when you miss even in a second, when you miss a word or a sign, then you'll be lost. You'll not be able to retell the story the way it comes from the source language. And also remember that the recipient of the signed message is expected to read the meaning carried by the hands, the facial expression, the body language, of course involving movement and posture. At the same time, you have to voice the message. Now, when it comes to receptive skills, it is required of us that we watch the one signing, we get the information and retell the story to any other person interested or any other party interested, of course in spoken way. So meaning that when it comes to receptive skills, we are going to use our eyes to get the information and give it out in spoken way. So it's very necessary when it comes to receptive skills that we do participate from the very beginning to the end. And remember, when it comes to receptive skills as a means of communication, these receptive skills majorly involves, of course, reading and listening. You should be able to read the facial expression, the body language from the one signing. And how do we listen in sign language? We listen using our eyes. So we have to watch the person signing. We have to carefully follow the person signing to be able to bring out reading and listening of course, in sign language. And as I've mentioned, when it comes to a visual language, there is no any way you will participate fully in a visual language without appropriate lighting. So it's very necessary that for you to be able to get the correct information from the one signing, there must be an appropriate and adequate source of light that you'll have to rely on to be able to see each other clearly. So as we continue learning about these skills, I want to encourage you that you practice. Remember, sign language is one of the easiest language, of course, in the world, but it requires more of your time. You have to get involved in interpretation, communication, watching videos, reading the notes, and of course, retelling the stories in sign language. That way, we'll be able to equip ourselves with the necessary skills that will help us to communicate with our brothers and sisters, of course, in the deaf community in an appropriate way. So see you in the next lesson.